What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy, Go Black to Africa. You know, I want to share this story with you because I know that many people are concerned about the U.S. dollar, the so-called weakening and the collapse of the U.S. dollar. But I want to talk about what are the effects for those who are investors in Africa, those who have property, land or whatever. How does that affect you? You know, y'all heard me probably a month or years ago talk about the advantages that the U.S. dollar and its strength and how you can capitalize off of it living over in Africa or any country that might have a weak country's currency. But now we're on the flip side. You know, the U.S. dollar has lost 14% of its strength here in the last 2 months. In Ghana, for instance, it's lost 18% of its strength. That means now, on my way back to Ghana, that U.S. dollar, I will get less of the Ghanaian cedis, their currency, and I won't be as, let's just say, prosperous purchasing power than what I had before. But I will say this right here, because I know many people are like, but you said that, you know, you can buy, you can do these things over in these countries, and now the times have changed. Of course. But you see, thankfully I think ahead and think in other dimensions or have other options when you're talking about international business. And yes, though, we, the small man out here, trying to stretch our profit and trying to increase our life or our business, let me lay this before you. Though that the dollar is getting weaker, here's an advantage that you can look at. I own 3 properties, hopefully soon to be 4, in different countries. And the advantage of that is when the US dollar becomes weaker and the purchasing power of that country's currency begins to become more, I can turn around and instead of charging US dollars for rent, I can change it over to that country's currency. So let's just say that if the dollar happens to be on the flip side, that the currency of that country is more than the US dollar, I still can have an advantage by renting out my property in their currency and still making profit beyond than what I may have expected when that country's currency was on the down, but now it's on the up. The other thing I want you all to consider that, because in this world that we live in, we do know, and I want you all to do your homework. I want you to look up several things, because we are in a time now that there are countries out here who are trying to position themselves to be on top of America's currency. They want to have the power when it comes to trading oil, where it used to be traded with many countries in the US dollar. These countries now are backing their own currencies with gold, and they're coming up with the digital currency where they can purchase oil through their own currency, through gold or other means. And these countries who are purchasing it through the US dollar, they're putting that aside, which has an effect on the US, the value of the dollar. It also has a lot to do with the inflation in America. Now, I don't claim to be a professional economist, but I do know money. And what I mean by that, family, is that even you can turn around or you can realize that what we see today with the inflation in America, everything has gone up. It has blown my mind. I got back 2 months ago here in America, unbelievable the prices of things. Whether it's the fuel, the electricity, whether it's the groceries, entertainment, everything now has become more expensive to where now many who don't have a lot has to take the little and squeeze it. Well, let's just say that even you can learn some tips on how to save that dollar. Now, I'm a frugal guy and I don't wastefully spend money. And so when I'm shopping, I'm always looking for sales. Always looking for sales. Which many people like to buy things at a retail value. I'm saying look and wait for sales. Never buy things at its retail value. The other thing is that, especially when you talk about food, you have to be very smart when you're purchasing food because vegetables and fruits are on an all-time high. Buy fruits at a whole, never buy fruits or vegetables that are cut up. That's because the prices on those are going to be 3 times as more for less the product. If you're buying your fruits cut up and they put in the box, you're going to be spending more than what it costs for the whole fruit for you to take home and cut it up yourself, or even vegetables. You will also find that typically because fruits and vegetables are perishable items, that stores want to try to make as much money as they can off them, they will have sales as well. This is where you can save that extra buck or two. The other thing, fuel, gasoline for your vehicle. Now I know many people are used to just nickel and dime putting fuel in their car. You know, I learned one thing when I was in mechanic school. Well, the question was asked, can you burn more money while running the air conditioner? And the question is yes. You can burn more fuel running your air conditioner or your heater because it takes up more power for your car to generate, which burns more fuel. The other thing about gasoline, for those who like to nickel and dime the gas tank, meaning that you want to only put in $5 instead of a full tank, can the car burn more money when the fuel is lower to E? Now, we were taught that yes, your car can burn more fuel, and there's a lot of variables with that. Whether it's the altitude that you're in, whether it is the weight that you're carrying, whether you go uphill or downhill. But for the most part, because of gravity, if your tank is full, it is said that you can save more of fuel than if you're riding around on a quarter of a tank. Check those out. I haven't been in school in some years, and technology always changes, especially when you're talking about fuel injectors and how a car dispenses the fuel. Okay, I know many people want to know about travel, because I'm always in these freaking airports, traveling everywhere. People ask, how can I save money on flights? And because the dollar is weaker, the flights are now way more. And I'm saying, if you are not in a rush to get somewhere, don't take the most expedient route to get there, meaning one stop, maybe take 2 layovers or 3 layovers. Those type of flights are a whole lot cheaper than in non-stops or one-stop layovers. The other thing is that you can always, in most of these companies, always get messages when the prices drop. So you can purchase a ticket today, but be on the price watch. Make sure you connect with some of those websites, whether it's Expedia, Travel Velocity. I think they have price alerts when you have their apps, or even American Airlines, United. If you have their apps, you can get on price alerts. But I think it's more of the third parties who have price alerts. You can do that. But anyway, the dollar that is weakening, the US dollar, is causing a little fear, a little hysteria amongst people. Take it from me. Be on the lookout as we watch which directions this US dollar is going to fold or fall. Because at the end of the day, it takes that dollar to make a living. This is your man, not your boy. Go black to Africa.
Think about it, 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 think about it.